What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nancy Drew. I'm here to talk to a guy who, from this distance, looks like Colonel Sanders. Just a little bit of catch-up on what we did last time. We got the phone number for the doctor that did the guy's autopsy, but was also his friend, I guess? Which, I said in the last episode, seems like a little bit of a conflict of interest. And, if he's the killer, he could have just fudged it. But then, here's the thing, if he's the killer, and we talk to him right now, he's not gonna say anything was weird, because he would cover up the fact that he fudged it. So I feel like if he was the killer, we would get to a dead end at this point. So I'm hoping he's not the killer and gives us some actual information. That's pretty much where I'm at. My top suspect currently is she like a groundskeeper or a housekeeper? Either, the lady, she like wears the hat, and she gave us green juice, and wouldn't say what was in it, like, right at the beginning of the game. I don't remember her name because it's unfortunately been, like, months since I recorded those first episodes, and I didn't see her last episode, so I do not know her name. I don't remember it. My brain is small. She's my top suspect, and my top theory as to her method is poison. My top guess as to what the poison is digitalis, which is a heart medicine, if I'm recalling correctly, that's derived from the foxglove plant. And this entire theory is based on an episode of Psych I watched once. I'm gonna Google digitalis real quick. So Google confirms that it is the foxglove plant. Digitalis is apparently just a name for that type of plant, but they also call the drug that. And it's used to strengthen the contractions of the heart, according to, I believe it was the Encyclopedia Britannica website. That's what it does. So, in a weak heart, it would make your heart normal. If you have a healthy heart, based on that small description, I would assume it makes you have a fucking heart attack. That is my theory. I need to look up where foxglove grows, though. Okay, I googled where it grows, and I found a University of Wisconsin website, which is interesting because apparently that random book lady is from Wisconsin. So I doubt she, traveled down here to poison the guy, but that is interesting that I found the University of Wisconsin. Anyway, that website said something about zones 4 through 9 and Western Europe, and I don't know what that means because it didn't give me a picture of what that zone means, so I don't know. However, I did go on a Google image search from a different website that gives a map of kind of where it can be found, and it's looking like the West Coast, kind of just the western United States, except not Nevada for some reason. I guess because Nevada has a lot of desert in it. But California, maybe just Northern California, but they have the whole state colored in for some reason. Yeah, it's like the Pacific Northwest, and then also Alaska, British Columbia, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, kind of just the New England area, and then Eastern Canada. It's not showing up in New Orleans. That's the important point of this map. I could have just led with the fact that it doesn't show up on this map in Louisiana, so it does not grow there, which means maybe it is not the poison. But I feel like I'm at least on the right track with my guess, right? Also, I think this bitch has a greenhouse. So, that kind of... She's growing her own stuff. So maybe that's just... I think this map is just where it naturally is. But also it says it's from Europe. I don't know. I still think it's possible, it's just it's not on this map. And also, I don't know where this map is from. It's from BioWeb Home. I don't even know what that is. It's just that the university website would not give me a map. And that's what I wanted, damn it. Anyway, video game. We're gonna talk to the man.
Why, hello, young lady. How kind of you to grace an old man with your lovely presence.
If he's the killer and we just ask him this shit, I'm just saying, game. Nancy, you're putting Bess into a little bit of a situation here. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so I can either ask who he is or tell my name. I guess I'll ask if he is Dr. Buford. I mean, I'm assuming he is. Because they wouldn't make a character model of a man I'm not supposed to talk to for more than 2 seconds,
Are you Dr. Gilbert Buford?
Did she just, laugh?
I'm delighted to report that I am indeed.
Okay. Do you mind if I join you? Or your answering service? Both of these... See, this whole situation is just awkward. I don't know what to fucking say. I don't know what to say. I'm still thinking about digitalis. Okay.
Your answering service said I'd probably find you here.
This here is my favorite spot in the whole city. Delicious gumbo, pleasing view, particularly now, I might add.
Oh my
My
god.
name's Bess Marvin. I'd like to ask you some questions about Bruno Bollet, if that's okay.
I'd prefer subject matter of a happier nature, but I do not want to seem inhospitable, so what is it you want to know?
He's hitting on Bess. Why are old men This guy's like 100 years old. Bess is supposed to be like 18, I think. See, here's the thing. All like Nancy Drew and like Bess and George and all them they're supposed to be like 18, I think, but they all sound like they're 35. But even if she was 35, he's like 100 years old. Okay, maybe he's in his 60s because they just said he was just now retired. So maybe he's in his 70s. I don't know. Bruno Bollet was 95. So, like, if this is his best friend, I would just kind of, in my mind, associate him with also being 95, even though that's not necessarily true. Okay. But clearly Bess is a hot young thing, so he'll say whatever, I guess. That's the strat, apparently. See, I'm not hot in real life, so I'm not used to being able to just talk to anyone about anything. Like, people don't give you the time of day when you're ugly, right? So, like, and don't you come in the comments saying, Abby, you're not ugly. Like, here's the thing. There are certain physical traits which society deems as attractive, and certain physical traits that society does not deem as attractive, and I have quite a few of the second camp. Like, I am not conventionally attractive. I'm especially not conventionally attractive to men, so, like, I can't walk up to a man and just get information out of him because I'm a hot girl, you know? I'm not even a girl. Like, but I'm perceived as one, so, like, I still feel like I'm lumping myself in with girls at this point because I am definitely perceived as one. But I'm perceived as, like, an ugly girl, you know? But in reality, I'm an ugly transmasculine person. But all this is to say is, damn, I wouldn't have even thought of this strat because I can't use it in real life. That's the point I'm trying to make here. I shouldn't be surprised that this old man wants to talk to a hot girl, but, like, it's a first-person game, and I feel like I would not have the same experience in this scenario. Anyway, let's just ease into this.
Is it true that Dr. Bollet was your best friend?
Well, now, I was certainly his best friend, but I cannot honestly say that he was mine.
Oof.
Fact is, while socializing with my fellow man, particularly with pretty young women such
Oh my
as
god, dude,
yourself,
chill out.
has always been a source of pleasure for me, Bruno was just the opposite. Unfortunately, the older he got, the more numerous his idiosyncrasies became, and the less concern about their negative effect upon others he became.
Not me starting to, like, completely sympathize and empathize with Bruno in this exact moment. Just the older I get, the worse at socializing I get. And also, the pandemic did not help. I used to be better at masking than I am now. I think it's the 2 years of not having to do much in-person socializing. It's just, I don't know how to fucking do it anymore. Anyway.
His idiosyncrasies didn't bother you?
Now, as a doctor of medicine, I am not only accustomed to dealing with the abnormal, but I find that I'm actually drawn to it. I, for one, thoroughly enjoyed Bruno's outlandish personality. Although, at the same time, I fear it may have played a role in
Oh
his
my god.
demise. You see, he died of a myocardial infarction, most likely caused by age-related atherosclerosis. Dying of a heart attack is all too common for people who are socially isolated. And Bruno Bollet had most certainly become that.
Okay, I'm gonna Google what atherosclerosis is because I do not know what that is. Atherosclerosis is the buildup of fats, cholesterol, and other substances. Oh, okay. So the typical things people say cause heart attacks. Okay, so that's not like an unusual cause. Well, now I know what atherosclerosis is. But, like, this fucking dude, he's like, oh yeah, I was his best friend. He wasn't my best friend. Let me roast him for 10 minutes. Okay. You're so mean.
Did they do an autopsy on Dr. Bollet?
No. Given
he didn't
Bruno's
even do an
advanced
autopsy, okay.
age and the absence of any indication of foul play, an
Shit.
autopsy was deemed unnecessary, and the body was cremated
They
according to Bruno's wishes.
fuck. Well, now we'll never know. They didn't do an autopsy. He just decided it was a myocardial infarction. So, like, we don't even know if he actually... Like, we won't know. But that means, if they didn't do an autopsy, that means he definitely didn't have any sort of external wounds. Because otherwise that would have prompted them to, like, look into it. So poison is still probably the best bet. Now, that puts it to anywhere. Like, they didn't even do a tox screen, it doesn't sound like. Like, we wouldn't know if it was an undetectable poison or not. Like, my digitalis idea is kind of like, whatever. Like, I think just going the poison route is probably, like, thinking about it that way, as opposed to picking a specific poison that would do heart stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Did Dr. Bollet ever say anything
Just
to you
ask about
finding
skulls.
a crystal skull?
Why, yes. Yes, he did. In fact, he
Oh.
showed it to me once.
Oh.
Said it had magical powers.
Okay.
Said owning it was going to allow him to live forever. I thought it was utter nonsense and told him so. Well, he didn't appreciate that at all. Refused to talk to me for a full 2 weeks.
So, he doesn't have it anymore, which means, yeah, it existed. This man saw it. The skull existed. It is no longer with Bruno's stuff, which means whoever has it now is the killer. He was probably killed for it. But there was a box that could have had a skull in it in the Zeke's shop. So does that mean Lamont? Is that the guy's name? The sneezy guy. Is he? Who sold the box? We don't know who sold the box to him, because maybe the skull was never in there to begin with when the box was delivered there. So maybe it's whoever sold the box. Do you have any idea where he kept this? What did it look like?
What did the skull look like?
It was quite beautiful, actually. Life-size, perfect in form and clarity, like a diamond almost.
I'm pretty sure he kept
Tell
it in that
me,
box.
Miss Beres, what do you know about that crystal skull?
I don't know a damn thing.
A friend of mine, who is also a friend of Henry Bolet, you know, Dr. Bolet's great nephew.
Okay, we're lying.
Anyway, while she was visiting Henry, she saw this book in Bruno's library about the legendary crystal skulls and was kind of intrigued and thought that since Henry said that you were pretty much Bruno's only friend, maybe Bruno had said something to you about it, and as it turns out, he had.
Oh, we're not lying.
That's all
I
I
thought we
know.
were lying and pretending we were friends of Henry's when
I see.
it's Nancy.
Well, much as I'd like to believe that skull holds the key to immortality, I'm afraid Bruno's passing proves it's worthless. Although it would
Unless
make an
he was
attractive
murdered.
paperweight, as I recall. Tell your friend not to give it another thought.
I'm giving it all the thoughts. I'm sorry. I can't. Oh, we can still ask where he was. Okay.
Where was Dr. Bolet when he had his MI?
In the foyer of his house, just
Oh.
inside the front door.
Right where Nancy
In
was
fact,
standing.
I hadn't seen him for a while, so I picked that day to pay him
Oh
a
my
visit.
god.
I walked up to the front door, found it unlocked as usual, opened it, and there he was, lying on the floor in obvious distress.
That's some theatrical
The next thing I
timing.
know, his housekeeper came running in and started shrieking and carrying on until finally I sent her out of the room so she could summon an ambulance and I could once again hear myself think. Then
Okay. We're roasting
well,
the
let's
housekeeper.
see. Then I knelt down and saw that he wasn't breathing. So I pulled him away from the doorway so I'd have more room to work on him and began chest compressions. I continued until the medics arrived, but nothing they did made a difference either.
Okay, so he witnessed him die. So that at least gives us, like, he used his own medical expertise to determine that it was a heart attack killing him in that moment. So, heart attack was triggered by whatever he was slipped. I'm assuming he was drugged. He was poisoned. Like, I'm assuming the housekeeper running in at that exact moment is a little sus. Like, she hears the door open and she's like, someone's walking in on me murdering this guy. I have to act like he's, like, just... I have to act like he's having a heart attack. You know? Like, it's believable. But, like, it's a little interestingly timed. Like, maybe he was trying to leave, too, because he's right by the front door. Maybe he was trying to leave. Because she's murdering him. I don't know. She's so sus, okay? She's so sus. She's my top suspect, the housekeeper. Was he unconscious all the time? Why would he have a heart attack in the foyer? I think he was trying to leave. Like, that's my suggestion to this. This is probably
Was
the better
Dr. Bolet
question.
unconscious the whole time?
Yes, he was.
Can you remember anything that might indicate what he was doing by the front door? I mean, had he just come in from a walk? Was he wearing a hat? Was he holding anything? Had he dropped something? An umbrella? Sunglasses?
Wait a minute. Why, yes. Yes, he was holding something. A piece of paper. And on the floor next to him was an envelope. He must have collapsed while reading a letter.
Sure I mean, we know he didn't die of anthrax, but, like, anytime, like, he died after opening an envelope, I'm thinking about fucking anthrax every single time. Without fail, I think about that. Like, I wasn't even sentient when the anthrax thing, like, actually happened in the world. Like, I was alive, I think, but it was right around 9/11, if I'm remembering correctly, so, like, I was really young and could not form human memories yet, so... Like, I don't even actually remember it being a thing. I just have, like, learned about it once and think about it every day. Also, there was a Criminal Minds episode about anthrax, and that one was scary. Anyway, video game. He was reading a letter. Do you know what happened to it, or do you remember anything? Do you remember anything else sounds less sus?
Do you remember anything else?
Believe me, young lady, it's quite miraculous that I've remembered this much. Now, I know the letter was no longer in Bruno's hand when the paramedics arrived, So perhaps he released the letter when I moved him.
Huh.
And yet I do not recall seeing it on the floor when they wheeled him out the door.
Huh.
Iggy.
What's icky?
Iggy. Iggy is an iguana Bruno befriended, then turned loose in his home. It soon developed the annoying habit of stealing paper and stockpiling it in the vent system.
Okay, so either the iguana stole the letter or the housekeeper did. Those are the two options. I would assume the iguana, I'm going to ask if he saw.
Did you see Iggy while you were tending to Bruno that day?
No, but then I rarely ever saw Iggy.
I saw Iggy.
Moreover, it would not have been the first time a missing document ended up in Iggy's possession. Renee would periodically
that's
call
the
me
housekeeper's
saying
name.
the lizard had absconded with one of Bruno's prescriptions, and would I please
Wait.
write her up a replacement? In any case, Bruno once told me he was training
Wait a
Iggy.
minute.
Said he taught Iggy to retrieve the things it had stolen.
So, you're telling me the housekeeper, in the event that maybe the iguana didn't actually steal the prescriptions, there's a possibility that the housekeeper was getting extras of his medication and blaming the iguana for it. So there is a possibility that she had extra pills that she could use to potentially overdose this man and kill him. What was he on? It's very important to know. Oh, I'm fucking sitting here theorizing it. That's Beth's next fucking question, is that? I didn't even read it. I didn't even read the next question. I just went off. Okay. I'm gonna ask it. Yeah, no. Bess and I are on the same page. Here. Okay.
Do you think it's possible that Renee caused Dr. Boulez's death by, say,
He's gonna yell at me
hoarding
for
the
this,
pills
probably.
from those missing prescriptions and giving them to him all at once?
No. Had he died of an overdose of the medications I had prescribed, the manner of his death would have been quite different.
Okay.
But he died of a heart attack. Of that, I am certain. However, I know for a fact that Renee is deeply involved in the practice of hoodoo. And as Bruno's housekeeper, she had ample opportunity to use it against my poor old friend.
Again, with the hoodoo. Okay. I'm a little... Here's the thing, is that I'm afraid, because I don't know, I've never played this game. I don't know how it's going to treat... we're already, blaming hoodoo for this man's death, in this moment. I'm like, is this game going to be, problematic about it? I'm kind of worried about that.
You mean hoodoo really works?
Young lady,
It's a real
never,
thing that people
underestimate
believe,
the
so...
power of suggestion. If a person believes in something, even on a subconscious level, fantasy can easily become fact.
The placebo effect
And
is
who
real.
knows what rubbish Renee filled Bruno's mind with? Drink this, don't eat that. This brings good luck, that brings bad, day in and day out. Even if he said he didn't believe a word of it, who knows how much his subconscious was absorbing? He was very
That's
old
also...
and vulnerable. So could Renee have caused Bruno to have that fatal heart attack? There's not a doubt in my mind she could indeed.
That's also, a thing where, hearing something over and over again, even if you're, I don't really believe it, but, you keep hearing it. That's why Fox News is so fucking dangerous. He, makes a point about that. But also, again, I'm kind of worried that this game is going to be a little problematic in the way it discusses hoodoo. But... you know what else is happening here is that now the game is making me really sus of Renee. They are shoving it in my face that Renee is the best suspect here. So now I'm thinking that's too obvious and maybe it's somebody else. And maybe someone was. Okay, so he did just say that if it was an overdose of his pills, it would have been a different cause of death. And he's certain it was a heart attack. However, there is a possibility that it was Henry and not Renee. Not the iguana stealing the prescriptions. So he theoretically could have an extra hoard of pills. However, I don't remember, because also, wait, hold on. Henry was at college when the guy died, I think. So maybe it wasn't him, actually. Maybe the iguana murdered him. I don't know. Or maybe this guy's sus. Maybe everyone's sus. Because he just said, don't underestimate the power of suggestion. And he also said, a couple minutes before that, I don't believe in that crystal skull shit. But what if the power of suggestion got to him, and he's being defensive because the power of suggestion got to him? Who knows? We're like 2 minutes into this game because like this may be episode 5, but I've spent so much of these episodes stuck on puzzles. So
Guess I'll
anyway,
be running along.
I've enjoyed our conversation immensely.
I think he's been staring at Bess's tits the whole time. Like, that's my headcanon, is that he was staring directly at Bess's tits the whole time. Okay, so I guess we call Nancy? Nothing else to do.
Hello? Hi, Nance. Okay, here's what's been happening at my end. And that's pretty much it.
Good work. I'll take it from here. Thanks again.
Good luck. Bye.
Okay, maybe I wasn't supposed to... Here's the thing. Maybe I wasn't supposed to switch back to Nancy, because that was a very generic conversation. Shit. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll call Ned. Ned, can you give me a hint? Ned!
Hey, Nancy. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Meaning...
Okay, I can talk to him. Okay.
Are you familiar with the legend of the so-called crystal skulls?
Is that where aliens supposedly scattered a bunch of perfectly formed crystal skulls all around the world like thousands of years ago? And all the skulls have different magical powers?
Something like that, yeah. Apparently Henry's uncle was the proud owner of the Whisperer, the skull that was supposed to make whoever owned it live forever.
Only now he's dead and another superstition bites the dust.
Maybe, maybe not. See, this book I found in Bruno's library said no one who has owned the Whisperer has ever died of natural causes.
So how did they die?
They were all murdered.
Come on, you don't believe that crystal skull stuff is true, do you?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm not sure what I believe yet. But right now, what I think doesn't matter. The people who knew Bruno had the skull, if one of them believed in the Whisperer's power, they may have figured the only way they'd ever be rid of Bruno was to cause his death.
But didn't he die of a stroke or something?
Heart attack.
Well, there you go. Natural cause.
Ned has clearly
Heart attacks can be
never
You've been
read or
watching
watched
too
Death
many
Note.
of those forensic detective shows.
That may
Listen.
be, but what's really interesting is
Do you
the
think Nancy
skull
watches
is
Criminal
missing.
Minds?
That is interesting.
And I'll bet you anything that's what my bony friend in the red ascot was looking for.
Does Henry know where the skull is?
I haven't gotten around to asking him about it yet. But if that skull is still around here, I intend to find it.
I kind of figured that.
So, they did point out that it was a red ascot, so I did remember that correctly. The costume we saw in the shop was a blue scarf, not red. So that's a different skeleton costume. I feel like that's important to note because I just remembered that there was a skeleton costume there, but it was a blue scarf. Anyway. Also, Ned did just say that Nancy watches, quote, too many of those forensic detective shows. So I think Nancy watches Bones, Nancy watches CSI, Nancy watches NCIS. I think Nancy watches Criminal Minds. That's the most important one here. That and Bones, because I love Bones. But, like, Criminal Minds is my hyperfixation right now, so I think Nancy watches Criminal Minds. I think she does.
Bruno Bolet's doctor, Gilbert
Psych.
Buford, was apparently Bruno's best friend.
That's where I got the
as well.
digitalis thing from,
Think Bruno
psych.
told him about the skull?
Yes, in fact, Dr. Buford told Bess that Bruno showed it to him once. But apparently he told Bruno the skull was bogus, and Bruno got a little ticked off. Never showed it to him again.
Well, when it comes to murdering someone and making it look like a heart attack, a doctor's got to be right up there when it comes to suspects.
Don't worry, I've been thinking the same thing.
Same.
So what else is going on?
Nothing.
Nothing more to report.
Call again, okay? Soon.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Bye, Ned. Okay, I can call the cab company for some reason. I doubt calling either of these people is going to be useful. Oh, we need to investigate the iguana. That's a thing, because the iguana might have stolen that letter. I wonder... The last place I saw the iguana was in here. It was right... I thought it was there. Maybe it was here? Those are the teeth books. Yeah, that's the teeth books. I still don't know what to do with the teeth books. There was an iguana, though. Maybe, oh, it was here. Yeah, that's the Hotchkiss book. Okay. The iguana was, like, on top of this. Maybe it left something? No. Maybe the... What's his name? Henry knows where the iguana is. Can I not click on anything? What? Why can I zoom in here? That's fucking weird. Okay. Henry. No, I don't want the teeth books. Where is... I'm so lost. I'm so turned around in this room. There he is. Okay, we have to watch the whole animation. He doesn't have anything to say to me.
I'm going to keep looking around.
Whatever. Shut up, dude. I hate that guy. I think he's a murderer. Everyone's sus. Once again, I repeat, everyone is sus in this video game, including this woman.
Hello again.
Except for the fact the game's really trying to push that it's her, so I think it's not her. That's how much media I consume, where I'm like, I know you're pulling a fast one on me. I know how writing works. You're gonna shove it in my face that it's this woman, so that I'll think it's her, and then it won't be her. So now I'm so used to that in media that I'm like, it's not her immediately. It's too easy. Oh, I have many questions for her. Okay, let's go.
Did Dr. Bolet ever say anything to you about a crystal skull? He may have referred to it as the Whisperer.
No, he never so much as mentioned a crystal skull, whispering or otherwise.
He tells his doctor, his scientific-minded friend, about the skull. He doesn't tell the woman who practices and believes in hoodoo about the skull. And what I mean by that question is, he asks the person who's least likely to believe him. Of all the people he interacts with, he shows it to the person who is least likely to believe him. He doesn't show it to her. I think she's lying. That doesn't mean I think she's a killer. I just mean I think she's lying.
I was indeed. I was in the library cleaning when all of a sudden I heard a big thump. I hurried out to investigate, and sure enough, there was Dr. Bolet lying by the front door. And as I rushed over to him, the door opened and in walked Gilbert Buford. He took one look at Dr. Bolet and hollered at me to call 911. So I ran back into the library and did just that. When I came back out, Gilbert was leaning over Dr. Bolet, listening for breathing, I suppose. And then he started pushing up and down on his chest. But it was too late. Even I could tell that Dr. Bolet was gone.
So, she and Dr. Buford told the exact same story, which is interesting. Like, she didn't have any, like, inconsistent details. The one thing I did notice is that I obviously don't know how long the phone call to 911 was, but it's, like, usually takes, like, a little bit. Like, they ask you details of what's happening, like, your address and stuff like that to, like, know who and what to dispatch, I would assume. Like, it's not slow, but it's not instant. Like, you have to, like, stay on the phone and, like, give information. So, whatever the length of that phone call was, she left the room, made the phone call, came back before he even started chest compressions. So I'm just wondering, like, I don't think it would have taken that long for the doctor to determine he needed chest compressions, so, like, I'm just wondering what he was doing in that time exactly. But at least her movement pattern matches what Buford said. And Buford also said he was... Maybe my anthrax idea wasn't far off. Maybe, like, it wasn't anthrax, but something else that he breathed in from the, like, letter envelope killed him. But then the iguana took that, so it might have still had residue, so the iguana's not dead, so... I don't know what I'm talking about. I should just keep talking to the woman instead of talking about bullshit that the game might tell me in 2 seconds.
How was it that
They're probably
Gilbert
not
was
gonna
able
tell
to
me,
just
but, like,
walk
whatever.
right in like that?
As you yourself discovered, people around here seldom lock their front doors during the day. But you know, in the back of my mind, I have always wondered about Gilbert Buford showing up at the door at that exact moment.
Yeah, it is a little sus. I mean, I think he said... Did he say... I don't even remember what he said. But I think he said something like he was like, oh, I hadn't seen him in a while, so I went to check up on him, and I just happened to be there when he died. It is a little sus. The game is shoving her more in as a suspect than him at the moment, but he's close behind. I feel like it might not be either of them. It might be whoever sent the letter. And, like, maybe it's an anthrax-esque situation, but it wasn't anthrax, and it was something else that would just cause him to have a heart attack. Digitalis, perhaps. Although I feel like that needs to be administered over a course of time. Because if I'm remembering the psych episode correctly, it wasn't a single dose. It was multiple doses over time. In a coffee. Every day. Anyway, I can ask about the iguana, though.
I understand that Dr. Bolet had some interesting pets, like an iguana.
That man never met a creature he didn't like. He'd train them to do all kinds of silly tricks, then let them run free, inside the house as well as out.
Did he ever teach you how to make them do their tricks?
I never cared to learn. Don't get me wrong. I liked Dr. Bolay,
Damn.
I truly did. But I swear, sometimes his activities made as much sense to me as bathing in a bayou full of gators.
Okay, well that was not helpful.
I'd better get going.
Come see me anytime.
Maybe Henry knows about... What's this? Why can I click on this? Is that a human arm? Well, it's made to look like a human arm. And I'm assuming it's not actually made of bone. But... I don't know why I can zoom in on that. I can't click on anything here. I have no idea. Maybe I have to do it at a different time. Maybe I can ask Henry about the iguana now. Bestie, do you know about the iguana?
Yes?
Nope.
I'll check back with you later.
Whatever.
God, attempting to talk to him is so annoying because I have to wait for his entire animation to play out, only to find out he has nothing to say. And then I have to wait for another entire animation to play out. Okay, that's the front door. Can I, like... Oh, I can go up the stairs. It is so dark. Okay. Is the iguana in here? Mr. Iguana! Oh, that is a black screen. That is a black screen. Is there, like, a brightness setting on this thing? No. Of course not. Hold on, let me turn up the brightness on my fucking monitor. Because that is a black screen. I still can't see anything. I can't see shit. Okay, well, that did not help. I can't make anything out. I can't even make anything out on OBS. And I also can't click on anything. I don't know. I don't know about that. Don't like that thunder. Do not like it. Also, I've been recording for too long. Wait, is this a key? Perfect time to test it out. Nope. Okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do at all, and that means it's probably time to say next time on Abby Games, because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I can't click on that table. I don't know what to do! Like, I feel like there might be something in that room, but fuck if I can see it, you know? Is there anything on the floor? Anything here that I can click on? Why can I zoom in on the front door if I can't even click on anything? Alright, I give up. I will see you guys next time. I don't know what to do. I might look up a walkthrough. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you're enjoying the game. I still think it is very unnerving that everything on this room, like in this shot, is at like a crooked angle, except the fucking clock. I feel like that makes me so uncomfortable. So whoever designed this room, like this environment in the game, props to you for that, because that is just unnerving to me for many reasons. Anyway, thank you for watching me and listening to my rambling about things the game's gonna talk about in 2 seconds, because that is just something that I do as a person, and I don't care if it's annoying, I'm not gonna stop. I like theorizing, it's the way I process information. But, yeah, next time we'll, maybe look at a walkthrough. Or switch to Bess and see if I can talk to anybody again. Those are my two options, I think, is switch to Bess, see if I can talk to anybody, and then look up a walkthrough. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch if you like live content, twitch.tv/CaptainAbbyGames. I love you, I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody!